How are we doing? So, I'm quickly gonna touch on the topic or speak about a question I got asked in my DMs, right? The question was, what are the ways you manage stress to stay on top of your routine? I think firstly, we should talk about what stress is by definition, right? Stress is a feeling of emotional strain or a feeling of emotional pressure, for example. And the fact that stress is a feeling means, first of all, when you feel stressed, you might actually not be stressed. You can make yourself stressed over an irrelevant situation. And secondly, stress in of itself is not a bad thing, right? When you're at the gym, technically, you are feeling stressed. But that is a very good environment to be stressed in. So stress is never the problem. The problem becomes when there is stress, in quotes, your environment and how you interact with stress, right? I believe that if you're doing anything challenging, you should be stressed, right? If you're working a 9 to 5, you have a business, you're doing any job, there will always be stress. And my goal is not to try and eliminate stress, right? Because number one, again, it is a feeling. Number two, you actually can't find a solution to your stress, because if I was to tell you guys, whatever is causing you stress, write it down. It could be money, it could be lack of having a girlfriend, whatever. And even, let's say, for example, you're then able to get yourself a good job and that solves the problem of money. When you get that good job, you still feel stressed again about the good job, right? You just find something else to be stressed about. So stress doesn't go. Stress just evolves based on your environment and based on the people around you. What I'm stressed about today could get solved. Tomorrow is a new stress. So I'm not making a video for you guys to try and find a way to get rid of stress, right? What you guys need to do is find a way to cope with the stress. Because when you have a way of coping with the stress, it means that whatever the stress is as it evolves, if you're young, single, you get a girlfriend, there'll be stress. You guys end up getting engaged, married, you get kids, they'll be stressed. But if you build those healthy habits over the course of your life, you find a way to cope or manage with the stress. And that's what you need to do. Get away from the idea of trying to eliminate stress or trying to de-stress. You have to cope with the stress. And in stress, some people excel. You have to find a way to cope with the stress. What can you do? The most cliche answer for most guys is to go to the gym or to work out. And honestly, that's what most people can do to eliminate the stress. And I'm really trying to hamper on the fact that stress is a feeling. If you don't have money and you need money and you feel stressed, that is not a feeling. That is your financial situation in the gutter, right? That's not a feeling. That is a reality. That is you not having money. So the feeling you have is not stress. The feeling you have is anguish, is despair, is I need to fix this quickly. And if you read certain articles, it will tell you how to deal with stress is to identify what the stress is and try and change what you can or something in that nature. And while I think that could be good advice, I don't think it is realistic advice, right? Because stress is an emotion. Every day you might get a new stressor. Are you going to make a list of 5, 10, 20 stressors? No. But what you can do to cope with stress can be constant for life. Because that's what you're going to have to do.